What's good and what's poppin', my crypto fam? Holla at your boy in the live chat. In today's show, Bitcoin on-chain data is showing why 24/7 is a major resistance for Bitcoin. As I break down the latest technical analysis, we'll also be discussing XRP co-creator posts a cryptic message on the survival of Ripple amid an SEC crypto battle. We'll also be discussing Paraguay to become top Bitcoin mining hub in Latin America, according to the Insight Group. I'll be breaking down this latest report, as well as on-chain analyst Willy says Bitcoin short squeeze now on the table as Bitcoin indicators flip bullish. We'll also be discussing top crypto analyst says $610 billion in Bitcoin and crypto could be wiped out in a worst case scenario. We'll also be sharing Bitcoin eyeing 25% of the world's wealth in a new $10 million Bitcoin price prediction. All this plus so much more in today's show. I also want to say today's show is brought to you by Binance, the top crypto exchange in the world. And the top reason why I enjoy their platform is you can do free trading with their top pairs, including Bitcoin and Ethereum, truly making it a no-brainer. And if you use my referral link and get signed up at Binance today, you can earn up to $600 as a sign-up bonus. Just note caveat, this is only available for Binance global users. If you live in the US, use my affiliate link specific for the US. They have a different offer where if you trade $100, you'll earn $10 for free. All you need to do is use the code BinanceUS. So go ahead and do so right now, and let's get this crypto, shall we? With that being shared, now let's dive right into today's crypto market watch. As you can see right here, Bitcoin currently trading at roughly 24,000. We have Ether up 1.6%, trading above 1650. Starting to see a little pumpage. Today should be a big day as news is about to hit. We have Binance Coin and many other coins, but barely in the green. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, you can see we're sitting at about 1.1 trillion with about 62 billion in volume with the past 24 hours, with the current Bitcoin dominance at 42.2% and the Ether dominance at 18.5%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours. Optimism up 16%, trading at $2.91. Engine Coin surging up 14%, trading at 54 cents. And Stacks up 11%, trading at 84 cents. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, we can see Optimism 14%, Engine 14.4%, and Lido DAO up 10.4%. Checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're currently rated at 56 in greed, yesterday at 59, last week at 62, and last month a 52, which is neutral. So there you have it. Welcome to everyone just tuning in. This is pod episode number 1202. Time sure flies. I'm your host, JV. Today is February 23rd. Let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis, shall we? This Bitcoin on-chain indicator may suggest why 24,750 is an important resistance for the King crypto. The relevant indicator here is the realized price, and to understand which, the realized cap needs to be looked at first. The realized cap is one of the two main cap models for Bitcoin, the other being the usual market cap. And according to the realized cap, the value of each coin in the circulating supply is the price at which was last moved. This means that the model incorporates the cost basis of each investor into the value of the asset. Now, if this metric is divided by the total number of coins in circulation, a sort of realized price can be obtained. The significance of this price is that it represents the cost basis of the average holder in the market. The implication of that is that it is normal. Bitcoin price dips below the realized price. The average investor enters into a state of loss. Now, while the realized cap somewhat filters out coins that haven't moved in a long time from the valuation of Bitcoin, they still influence its value. There's an insignificant portion of the Bitcoin supply that has simply been lost due to wallet seed phrases being lost. This supply is likely to never re-enter the market again. Facts, meaning that it shouldn't really have any effects on the price anymore. We could also consider Satoshi's, like 2 million coins, which haven't been moved since the inception of Bitcoin. To circumvent this problem, Glassnode has made the adjusted realized price metric as an on-chain analytics firm explain in the newly published report. This indicator introduces a simple fix for the lost coin problem. It doesn't take into account coins that haven't been moved since more than 7 years ago. Now, here is an actual chart, which you can see on your screen, that shows the trend in the adjusted Bitcoin realized price over the last few years. Pretty sweet. As displayed in this graph, the Bitcoin price already crossed above the realized price earlier in the rally, but the coins have now only reached the adjusted version. The adjusted realized price is currently 24,750, which is about the level that the asset has been finding rejection as of recently. Interesting. The April 2019 rally, which shares a few similarities to the latest rally, also saw a slowdown when it hit the metrics line as a visible in that chart. And levels like this, where a large number of investors may have their cost basis close to 10, provide resistance during bearish periods, as it is a preferable exit point for such hodlers after having suffered unrealized losses during the bear plunge previously. Now, featuring this chart here shows you at 23.9. I think we're currently at that same price. Yeah, 23.959 according to Coin360 at this current moment. Let me know, guys and gals, if you feel you're currently bullish on the King crypto or feeling a little bearish. Are you anticipating a correction, or are you anticipating us to continue this parabolic ascent? Let me know in the comments below, as I'm going to be breaking down both scenarios for you in today's show. A little later on, we'll be discussing a potential worst case scenario crypto wipeout, and we'll also be discussing a very optimistic $10 million Bitcoin price prediction, which is pretty sweet. So with that being shared, let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss the latest of what's happening between XRP and the SEC. XRP co-creator and CTO of Ripple, David Schwartz, posted a cryptic message on Twitter. The note appears to address the US SEC lawsuit against Ripple, which alleges the company sold XRP as an unregistered security for years. In his message, Schwartz takes a bird's eye view of Ripple's journey to this point in time. It says the company now has two choices: fight for what's right or focus on survival. Quoting him here, Ripple, when a scrappy financial startup takes on a web of corruption and betrayal to bring instant payments to the masses, they learn that the cost of disrupting the status quo is higher than they could have ever imagined, forcing them to decide between their vision and their survival. Interesting. The SEC launched this lawsuit against Ripple back in December of 2020. The case remains in federal court, and Ripple's ultimate decision to settle or let the courts decide will have a significant impact on the future of crypto in the United States. This is a pretty big deal, this case. In court, Legal's legal team has said the lawsuit is centered on unprecedented and ill-conceived legal theory. They argue that the functionality, liquidity, and distribution of XRP makes the asset wholly incompatible with security regulations. They also say a decision to label XRP as a security would directly impair the crypto asset's main reason for existence. And even to this day, I don't think there is any exchange currently in the United States which has XRP listed, because the SEC is deeming it an unregistered security and threatening through coercion all these exchanges to delist it, which is what they did a couple of years back after this lawsuit initially took place. So I'll be keeping you posted with the latest updates surrounding this case, which takes us to our next story of the day. In Paraguay, a Bitcoin mining hub. That's right, Latin America, let's go. Let's discuss it. Paraguay, a country not especially known for its crypto affiliations, is now being considered one of the most attractive destinations in Latin America for the Bitcoin miners. Where my Bitcoin miners at? According to a mining insight company, Hashrate Index, the country presents a series of benefits that can help it become the biggest crypto hub in the region. Let's go. The first advantage that Paraguay has over other countries in the area, and what made it an attractive location for miners after the Chinese miner exodus, is the abundance of clean, cheap hydroelectric power that can be used to build large Bitcoin mining operations. Most of the power comes from Itapu Dam, with Paraguayans reportedly consuming only about 10% of the power produced. Well, let's tap into it. While most of the energy gets exported to neighboring countries, it can be sourced to power big mining operations in the future, according to the group. Now, here are some of the disadvantages. Hashrate Index says there are currently two different disadvantages of choosing Paraguay as a destination for establishing a Bitcoin mining operation. One is the climate in the summer, which can reach high temperatures and high humidity, affecting the longevity of air-cooled mining rigs. The other, and perhaps the most significant one, has to do with the unfavorable opinion that the government has Bitcoin mining activity. The president criticized the industry in a decree used to veto the crypto law approved by the Paraguayan Congress last year, and he stated that cryptocurrency mining was an activity characterized by its high consumption of electrical energy with intensive use of capital and little use of labor. He also warned about the future of the activity in the country and the possibility of having to import power if the industry keeps growing in Paraguay. The division has led the national power company to penalize the industry, applying a power fee hike of 50% in January, which affects already established miners in the country, lowering their earning margins and making them unable to offer hosting services for third parties. Well, I hope the adoption across Latin America continues to boom, especially in places like, Paraguay is a great example for Bitcoin miners, but also places like Brazil, which have a massive population exceeding 200 million people. Could you imagine Bitcoin becoming a legal tender like it is in El Salvador and Brazil? That would be massive as the Bitcoin game theory continues in full effect. Now let's break down a potential short squeeze scenario as per on-chain analyst Willy Woo. Woo tells his 1 million Twitter followers the Bitcoin fundamentals are picking up. That's right. Fundamental strength indicator is no longer overheated and starting to rise. If price gets above 25 G's, baby, we could be in for a short squeeze. Now, he also says a short squeeze happens when a large number of traders who shorted an asset decide to cut their losses in response to an unexpected price bump. The squeeze then triggers additional rallies. Wu notes Bitcoin is probably entering the reaccumulation phase of the cycle based on his analysis of the timing of past cycles, says the analyst about the threat of a recession. Not an expert on trad macro, but looks like macro liquidity is on the uptick. Bitcoin is still linked to this, right now expecting a climb and a dead cat if the recession kicks in. Also, think a decoupling may happen in future cycles. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the on-chain analysts, which leads us to now the worst case scenario for the crypto market and Bitcoin as a whole before I dive into the ultra optimistic $10 million prediction, which I'm going to dive into as the last story before we get into the live chat and Q&A. But yeah, let's now dive into this next story of the day. Analyst Benjamin Cohen predicts that crypto assets may not have bottomed out yet despite the increase in prices thus far this year. Cohen tells his 784,000 YouTube subs in a new video that the total market cap for the crypto assets could drop below 500 billion. Could you imagine the market cap below $500 billion? Or below $500 billion is less than 500 billion. That sounds insane to me. I believe that the worst case scenario for the total market cap is somewhere between $400 and $500 billion. To me, that's like nothing on the grand scheme of things, considering that, and this is me speaking now, considering that the total addressable market is hundreds upon hundreds of millions or trillions in the world. So what is $500 billion market cap for crypto? So I hope this doesn't happen, but now back to quoting him, which would essentially represent another 50% move to the downside from these levels, which is kind of crazy to think about it. I don't really think it is a common scenario that a lot of people are even considering. Facts, I wasn't considering this as a possibility. That's why I'm reading it to you today to enlighten you of all possibilities, right? While asserting that Bitcoin did not fall as much from its all-time high last year compared to what happened during the previous cycles, Cohen says that Bitcoin could bottom out close to the 2022 low of about 15.5 if the worst case scenario materializes. Quoting him here, we did not go as low as we went during the prior 3 cycles, but still pretty good value. If you bought Bitcoin at 15, 16, 17, or 18,000, even if we do eventually go lower, it's probably not that far from the bottom. So long term, I think you'll be fine, even if the worst case scenario does play out. And I believe he makes a great point as well, considering the all-time high is 70,000. So why does it matter if you caught the absolute low of 15.5 or if you bought in at 16, 17, 18, or even 20 on the grand scheme of things? Let me know if that resonates. Cohen says that based on how long previous bear crypto markets have lasted, there is a chance that the bottom could already be in. I'm more optimistic that the bottom is already in, but that's just me personally. Here's quoting him, there's always a chance that the bottom is in from a time-based perspective. You could argue that it is, but even if it is, you are still likely looking at a bit of chop for a while. And to watch this video he did, where's the crypto bottom, check the show notes below the video in the description, and you could reference that a little later on your own time. With that being shared, now for the moment we have all been waiting for. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? Let me know in the comments below. Now for the $10 million Bitcoin price prediction. Bitcoin can hit $10 million per coin or more as it eats 25% of the global wealth. A new analysis has concluded. Let's freaking go. In a new blog post released on February 16th, which was last week, fund manager and Bitcoin expert advisor Jesse Myers revealed his own outrageous Bitcoin price target. Bitcoin may struggle with brutal volatility, but hodlers and critics alike should be in no doubt about its long-term price trajectory, Myers says. Analyzing Bitcoin's value proposition, he argues that Bitcoin's ability to appreciate over time means that it is all but destined to suck in value from other asset classes Facts. I feel the same way personally. And among other reasons, this is because an asset with such appreciation, characteristics, and increasing scarcity allows it to fulfill the role of digital gold. Quoting him here, Bitcoin has an unthinkable property. It gets more valuable over time. Gold is good at storing purchasing power, but Bitcoin grows purchasing power. The blog post reads, value stored in Bitcoin becomes worth more over time because Bitcoin's design of increasing scarcity. You just have to outlast the admittedly brutal volatility along the way. Preach. So true. Such an idea is not new. It forms the core thesis of many popular takes on Bitcoin, amongst them Saifedeus Amos' seminal book, The Bitcoin Standard. And I'm curious how many of you have actually taken the time to read The Bitcoin Standard. Let me know in the comments right down below. It is an excellent book. If I was to recommend just one book to understand Bitcoin, or even a newbie or an experienced individual, I'd say read The Bitcoin Standard. It's ultimately the Bible for Bitcoin. So if you haven't read it, be sure to check it out. I think you will absolutely enjoy it because it's a good read. Now, getting down to the numbers, Myers calculates that the global allocation into Bitcoin as 0.05% of available wealth as of this year, $400 billion. That is 1/2000th of the global asset value. The post continues. With that in mind, we have to ask ourselves an important question. When Bitcoin's mechanics continue to play out, causing it to continue to appreciate reliably in value every 4 years, with more than 0.05% of the world's capital eventually realized, it wants to be in an asset like that. I think the only logical conclusion is yes. Now that realization, Myers' forecast, means that $10 million per Bitcoin should be a conservative estimate. That's right. He says conservative estimate. Now, quoting him again, overall, my personal assessment of where the ceiling is for Bitcoin is simple. It is very high, almost to the point that I am embarrassed to show my analysis. He concludes, I love him already. Quoting him again here, my conservative estimates suggest an outrageous full potential for the Bitcoin price, $10 million per Bitcoin in today's dollars. To put this another way, I believe Bitcoin's full potential is to eat roughly 25% of the world's value, while today it constitutes just 0.05%. That is absurd. That means that I believe Bitcoin can 500x over the coming decades in real inflation adjusted terms. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analysts. Now let's discuss ARK Invest. Their bear case scenario has been updated to 258,000 by 2030. That's right. Absurd or not, Myers is far from alone in eyeing sky-high Bitcoin price valuations coming true over the coming decades. Some are even calling for the 1 million mark to hit before the end of this one, according to ARK Invest, for example, who continued to stick by the very prediction throughout 2022 bear market declines. In its Big Ideas 2023 Outlook, released at the end of January, the investment giant described long-term opportunity as strengthening. The firm's bear case for 2030 is revealed, still puts Bitcoin at $258,000 by the end of the decade. So there you have it. Not too shabby for a worst-case scenario. If you're to ask me, I wouldn't mind a $250,000 Bitcoin price, but obviously I feel the potential could be roughly, millions, and that's by 2030, which would be at the end of the decade, right? Because right now we're in 2023, so 7 years out, which would be 2 more Bitcoin halvings away. But what are your thoughts? Where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to head? What are your thoughts on that ultra bullish 10 million prediction, with Bitcoin tapping into 25% of the wealth in the world and market cap increasing by 500x? And what are your thoughts regarding ARK Invest's update of a $258,000 worst case scenario for the King Crypto by the end of the decade? Let me know how you feel. And now let's dive into my favorite segment of the live show, which is the live Q&A. Welcome everyone in the live chat. As always, I greatly appreciate your support. CoinFather says, I've read the Bitcoin Standard 3 times. My man, excellent. Love to hear that. And it doesn't surprise me because you guys are awesome. I do think alts will do well. When Bitcoin hits 10 million per coin, a dozen eggs would have to be $50 US. That wouldn't surprise me at the way things are going. Dan, it's always good to see you, buddy. J-Dub the Laker. We got Ellen. We got Dankness. We got someone by the name of Yo, what's good? Nathan Ross. Digital Dankness, always a pleasure. Matthew C., welcome. Steve Kingston, good to see you. Yeah, appreciate that. JT says, great show. Been watching you from the beginning. Bitcoin, the king of crypto. Appreciate that, JT. Coming from JV. Shout out to all the J's out there. Yeah, man. Good morning, family. Good morning to y'all. Matthew says, I don't think XRP will lose, Dan. They are in bed with the old banks and Bitcoin haters. Make a good point. Audit the SEC, says Megadon. I agree. Then destroy them. I agree. Ellen, let them implode and destroy themselves from their corruption. They'll implode from the inside. Ellen, hey JV, how are you? I am very bullish. He is out of the barn, the bull, and it's going to be hard to get Bitcoin back in the barn. Agreed. Well, let's keep pumping then, shall we? Chill. Good morning. When XRP loses in court, Bitcoin is going to melt faces, says Dan Drummond. And that leads to a good question. How many of you think the SEC will win the case against XRP? Let me know if anyone is in that boat. Like Dan. Megadon says, good luck on Lake Superior. Steve Kingston says the SEC collects the fees and then it helps pay for the next assault. Facts. Every fee collected allows them to cause more damages. Facts. Corruption, collusion, disgrace to the United States, disgrace to crypto, in my opinion. What are your thoughts? Appreciate you sharing, Steve. Megadon, Madison, ice pretty much. I know it's icy out there, fam. I asked the question before. JP's froze. Here's it again. What happens with the money from SEC collections? Well, we answered that. It goes towards the next assault. Exactly. It doesn't go to the people. It doesn't go to the investors that got taken advantage of. It's ultimately going towards their next assault. Maybe it's going to go towards attacking Binance and ushering unethical regulations, which has been the plan, from the beginning. It's going to fund all that, collect 100 million here, 30 million here. Oh, fine them 20 million. Oh, Kim Kardashian, just give her $1 million fine and let her do a motion to dismiss and pay nothing, which I just read this morning. Floyd Mayweather and Kim Kardashian, who were promoting a crypto scam by the name of Ethereum Max, they just put in a motion to dismiss the entire charges, and they will get away with it because the regulators don't really care. They only care about extorting these big companies unethically, which is a great example of what they're doing with XRP right now. Binance and threats all out there, in the industry. They did it to Kraken. They just slapped them with a $30 million fine. It's not cool. And I think this is going to make a lot of big companies leave the United States. It's not going to help with crypto adoption when the regulators can't even define the rules in black and white. Nobody knows. It's a mystery, because if nobody knows, they can continue to keep up with their harsh penalties and overreach in the industry. This is just my personal opinion. This isn't anyone else's thoughts. It's just how I feel being involved in crypto and witnessing it firsthand. Let me know your thoughts. I'll read those out loud. Steve says, go ENJ. Megadon Crypto Fam dealing with 20 inches of snow, but won't miss the show. Let's go. 10 million. I appreciate that. Steve says, smash the likes. The greatest compliment you can do is smash the like. And if you're new to the show, make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell icon. Make sure all notifications are turned on so you don't miss out when I go live. Sometimes I'm not always live at the same time. It is what it is, but I try to be as consistent as possible. James Jones says, Big Jones in the digital building. Welcome, Big Jones. Always a pleasure, family. Yeah, good to see you as well. And Matthew says regulators are setting up Coinbase for winner takes all, in my opinion. It does seem that way, especially with USDC. Ellen says, digital, I'm up on it. I am great cook, baker, candlestick maker. No joke. That's what's up. Dan says you want them to define monetary regulations when they can't even define woman. You make an excellent point. They cannot even define a woman no more. That sums up our clown world right now. Appreciate you sharing that. No, SEC is losing. That's why this case isn't finished, says Ellen. We shall see. You're self-sufficient, double D. Smashed it. Appreciate that, SpongeBob. Smash the like, says C. Allen. I appreciate that. What's good? Ellen says, I live in the woods. Yo, JV from West Coast, Canada. Hand pink waving. Word up. Welcome, and thank you for tuning in. T. Smith, live from the west coast of Canada. Canada in the building this morning. That's what's up. Yo, crypto is speculative. Bitcoin is no longer a speculation. You make a great point, Coinfather. Thank you for sharing. Anything else exciting here in the chat? Let's see. Yeah, 3 times I have the Bitcoin standard. That's good stuff. If anyone needs info on raising chickens, just ask. Do you literally raise chickens? Let me know. Mr. Jones, that's pretty cool, actually, if you have your own farm out there. Pi cycle top is going to be amazing. What is the estimated Pi cycle top? Let me know, because I haven't covered that in a minute. Thank you, Steve. I've been thinking about raising chickens, says J-Dub. Good stuff. If you have the land to do it and the means, why not? I mean, who wants to pay $50 for an egg in the next couple of years the way inflation is going? You feel me? Maybe eggs will become just as valuable as Bitcoin. Maybe one day we'll be like, yo, $20,000 egg. But probably by that time, Bitcoin will be 20 million, just saying. Avoid the BS, says J-Dub the Laker. Buy Bitcoin only. Touche. Exactly. I think Coinbase will be the monopoly crypto exchange for the USA. The same way they wanted FTX, the Gary Genslers out there, the regulators, they wanted FTX, you know what I mean, to be that big exchange, but it imploded, and now I think Coinbase is the focus, and they're going to try to take down its competitors, such as the Binances, you know, with overreaching and unlawful regulation as they have been doing. Until the supply chain issues, I had over 500 egg layers as my retirement income. Holy moly, I couldn't imagine having 500 egg layers. Have you ever got a golden egg produced? Like just, or a blue one or something out of the ordinary instead of being brown? They just come out blue or golden? Let me know. I know it's an odd question. But anyways, fam, now for a recap of what I covered with you in today's show. And don't forget, I am affiliate partnership with Binance. I believe they are the best exchange. If you're going to trade crypto, use Binance, because if you're trading Bitcoin or Ethereum with the top pairs, there's no fees. It's what I personally use, so it's what I recommend. Take advantage of it. If you're a Bitcoin or a global user worldwide outside of the US, make sure to use regular Binance, because they're going to offer the best incentives to take advantage of it. But if you're in the US, you can still take advantage of some free incentives as well and get registered and get started. My affiliate links are in the description below, and I greatly appreciate you supporting me, because by supporting me through those affiliate links, if I make money, I could actually use that to put it back into the show to scale more content and do great things for you, just so you know my intentions. So if I'm going to make money, I'm going to put it back into the show and do what I got to do. So I appreciate any support you can throw my way. And with that being shared, now for a recap of what I covered here in today's show. Here we go. I shared the latest technical analysis with Bitcoin on-chain data showing why 24/7 is the major resistance for the King crypto. We discussed XRP co-creator Schwartz posting a cryptic message on the survival of Ripple amid the SEC crypto battle. We also discussed the latest with Paraguay to become the top Bitcoin mining hub in Latin America, according to the Insight Group, as well as on-chain analyst Willy says Bitcoin short squeeze is now on the table as Bitcoin indicators flip bullish, as well as top analyst Benjamin Cohen says 610 billion in Bitcoin and crypto could be wiped out in a worst case scenario. And I also shared with you that the Bitcoin price can capture 25% of the world's wealth in new $10 million Bitcoin price prediction. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's show. Peace.